All right, let's get started. Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a great week. I was just wondering before we do get started, I was seeing if anyone had any questions regarding last week's homework or something that they would like to go over really quick before we get started with what I have prepared for today. No? All right then. So let's get started with our usual. It's our recommended author and book of the day. So Alexander, can you please read this little summary on the book Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery? Oh, no problem. Li Huang, can you please read this paragraph for us, this little summary?
Sure. This heartwarming story has beckoned generations of readers into the special world of Green Gables, an old-fashioned farm outside a town called Avonlea. Annie Shirley, an 11-year-old orphan, has arrived in this verdant corner of Prince Edward Island only to discover that the Cuthberts, elderly Matthew, and his stern sister, Marilla, want to adopt a boy, not a feisty red-headed girl. But before they can send her back, Anne, who simply must have more scope for her imagination and real home, wins them over completely. A much-loved classic that explores vulnerability, ex- ex- expectations, and dreams of a child growing up. Annie of Green Gables is a wonderful portrait of a time, a place, a family, and most of all, love.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So yeah, this is a very cute story, Anne of Green Gables. Um, I believe that there was a show created by this book. So you could that already tells you how popular this book is. And again, if it's this is something that's your cup of tea, heartwarming stories, an easy read, I would say this is your kind of book. So let's get to know who L.M. Montgomery is. So another old author. I just thought it was always good to look back into the classics and the classic authors, especially. So let's get to know who Lucy Maud Montgomery is, aka L.M. Montgomery. Let's see. David, can you please read this little paragraph on who L.M. Montgomery is?
Lucy Maud Montgomery was a Canadian author best known for a series of novels beginning with Anne of Green Gables, published in 1908. Montgomery was born at Clifton, Prince Edward Island. Now 30 no November 30th, 1874, she came to live at Leaksdale, north of Uxbridge and Trio. After her wedding with Rev. Edwin MacDonald on July 11, 1911, she had 3 children and wrote close to a dozen books while she was living in the Leakside, Leaksdale, Mains before the family moved to Norval, Ontario in 1926. She died in Toronto, April 24, 1942, and was burned at Cavendish, Prince Edward Island.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. And just to kind of help you clarify on some of the pronunciation on some of the words, well, not words, but places. So Ontario, which is a province in Canada, and then Toronto, which is a city, the capital city of Ontario. Now, and also buried, not burned. She was buried in Cavendish, Prince Edward Island. Awesome. So yeah, this is our author and book of the day. Does anyone have any questions regarding who she is or the book itself? No? All right. So let's enter our quote of the day. So let's see. Yanfei, can you please read this quote for us?
Eloquence is a painting of the thoughts.
Eloquence is the pronunciation. Eloquence. And James, can you please read out the definition for eloquence before we discuss this quote?
Eloquence, the quality of delivering a clear, strong message.
Great. And some examples that are written in the bottom here is she was renowned for her eloquence and beauty. His wit and eloquence made it a joy to be around him. So it is used as a noun. So when we say eloquence is a painting of the thoughts, what do you think the Blaise Pascal or Blaise Pascal is saying here? Any ideas? James, any ideas?
No, not really.
No? Yanfei, any ideas?
No.
No? Lee? Huang? Any ideas on what Blaise Pascal is trying to say here?
He's trying to. I think he's trying to express like a painting can show like what the painter feels.
Yeah, that's definitely an idea. The painting shows what a painter feels. Now, although this quote doesn't necessarily refer to paintings in general, it refers to eloquence. So Blaise Pascal is saying here is that this idea of eloquence, right, which we defined as the quality of delivering a clear, strong message. So we're saying a clear, strong message is like a painting of the thoughts. When we think of paintings, what do we usually say about paintings? When we see a painting, what do people usually say? Yanfei? When people look at a painting, what do they usually say?
This painting is really nice.
Nice. Yeah, really nice. Beautiful. Right? Pretty. So we're saying here that a clear, strong message is very nice. Right? A quality of the quality of delivering a clear, strong message is very nice. It's a very nice way of expressing thoughts. So that is the idea. Are we clear on what this quote means? Does anyone have any questions? No questions? All right. So let's all be eloquent. Let's all show our eloquence and write a speech. So you guys are going to debate pineapple on pizza. You're going to choose a side, yay or nay. So here, I want you guys to do is write a speech that shows eloquence, write very beautiful words. I don't want you guys to be aggressive or show very intense language, but I want you to show pretty language. So pretty language is making sure that you don't sound rude or angry or using any type of figurative language in a bad way. So oh, that's okay. The whole idea here is to get to practice. And now, when we write a speech, let's talk about what goes into a speech. So the first thing about a speech is introduce. So how to write a speech. And I'm gonna write this in the chat. Number one, let's actually discuss this as a class. What is the first thing that we do when we write a speech? Anyone want to, yeah? Lee?
A opening,
Opening. Absolutely.
a like a thesis, and maybe a persuasive essay.
Yeah. So opening thesis is very important. Now, Lee, what is a thesis for those who don't know?
It's like a point of view or something.
Absolutely. It's stating your point of view, your argument. right? So the argument is saying pineapple on pizza. So Lee, let me ask you real quick. Are you for pineapple on pizza or are you against pineapple on pizza?
I honestly never tried pineapple on pizza, so I have no idea.
Well, let's say as a concept, do you believe fruit should be on pizza?
No.
No. Okay, so you're against it. So then that should be in your thesis, right? The idea that pineapple pizza or fruit on pizza should not exist. Now, your opening, right, is just introducing what the topic is even about. Alexander, not a fan of pineapple on pizza, or you're a fan? You like it? I have to admit, I do like pineapple on pizza as well, but I'm not biased. Um, now, what I'm gonna say here is that the opening is not showing your opinion right away. It's talking about just the pizza. So you can say, in my speech today, I'm here to introduce this wonderful pizza called pineapple on pizza. It was created, and then to give a little background history, a little information for your audience so they understand what the topic is even about, what it tastes like, stuff like that. Then state your opinion, whether you're for it or against it. And then you're going to talk about maybe a little bit of support for your thesis. So that could be statistics, like, right, maybe there's some news article that talks about how over 50% of people prefer pineapple on pizza. It could be maybe your own personal experience, right? And how your family loves it, your friends love it, how lots of stores sell it. So that could be your own personal experience. You can talk about that, but it should all be done in an eloquent way, right? In eloquence. So you have to show beautiful kind of language. Now, in terms of beautiful language, it's kind of like just saying things in a pretty way. When you say it out loud, people feel, yeah, that's nice. That's nice to hear, right? They shouldn't be feeling, oh, this guy is yelling at me, or this person's yelling at me. So, or this person sounds aggressive, or they're hating uh they hate pineapple pizza, and if they say I don't like it, I should cry or something like that, that's not the way we are looking for. We're looking for eloquence. We want to sound, when we're making our speech, it should be pretty, lovely, nice. So, and then after your support, you conclude, right? Say your final sentence, right? It could be maybe even a catchphrase. It can be a quote of someone. It could be whatever you like. So that is the steps on what it takes to build a speech. All right. So, does anyone have any further questions? No? All right then. So I'm gonna give you guys 10 minutes to complete your speeches. Like I mentioned, it doesn't have to be terribly long, right? This is a speech, not an essay. So think about, right, length. It should be long enough, right, to sound convincing, but it doesn't need to be too long, so people don't get bored. All right. All right. So you may get started. I'll be here if you have any questions. And then yeah, 10 minutes starting now. All right, you guys have 1 more minute. So what I would recommend is to finalize your sentence and send me what you do have. It's okay if you're not completely finished, but we are gonna have to move on after the minute is up, and we will start editing. And after the editing process, then we'll have to move on. Okay. So 1 more minute. Please start submitting your work. I am going to stop sharing and getting the document prepared. All right, so time is up. Please submit your work. I'm going to start editing yours, David, and James after. Once I'm done, I will be moving on if I don't receive any more responses. So, David, you start with, I think pineapple should not be on pizza because some people don't like it or is allergic to it. So, although of course this is an opinion, and starting with I think is not an issue at all, but because the theme or the idea is to show eloquence, right? Let's start thinking of different ways of saying I think. Now, with I think, right? How do we rephrase it if you're not sure? I always recommend typing I think or whatever word or phrase that um you would want to change and type in synonym afterwards. And you can find so many different options that you would prefer. So one example of how we could say I think in a different way is that from my perspective, or in my opinion, or or my impression is that. So one of these is a great way a different way to say I think. Should not be on pizza because some people don't. We need to make sure that we're adding the apostrophe. So like it or is allergic. So just think about spelling. Okay. Um, and instead of saying to it, right? We still should specify what is it. So I would say pineapple. On the statistics, are you trying to say a bar graph here, David? Like you saw a bar graph?
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't need to just mention it. We can just say, take this. Start with statistically. And take a bar. So we can just say statistically, most people in the world don't like pineapple on pizza. And I personally, let's add the word personally for emphasis. I personally tried it once and it tasted mid. Now this, I know this is slang. Uh, Depending on who your audience is, some people won't know what mid means. So keep that in mind. So you use a different word or use a word most people would understand. Okay. And the tastiness mid, but mostly just keep in mind for spelling. Uh, but mostly on the bad side. I would say, but more so on the bad side. I say in my eloquence. So let's say this. My eloquence in message should convince everyone that pineapple should not be on pizza. All right. So here are the few edits I have for you, David. Any questions regarding this?
No.
So James, let's take a look at yours. You said, I think that pizza, again, same idea. Find different ways of saying I think, right? This is a message of eloquence. So we want to build more beautiful words. I think it's kind of boring. So we can definitely oomph it up a little. So I think that is a great topping. Pineapple on pizza is an interesting debate, but I think, and this is where I think would be appropriate to use because it's not the emphasis or it's not the intro of your speech. But I think that sometimes pizza is too dry and could have a nice, refreshing. Oh, okay. So pizza is too dry, and the pineapple adds a refreshing ingredient, taste to the pizza. So we're just going to reword that. Pizza with canned pineapple was invented in 1962. The creator found inspiration by the growing craze of tiki cups that brought umbrella drinks. Interesting. Pineapple on pizza also brings a good source of vitamin C and fiber, which helps with a healthy diet. Awesome. The pineapple on pizza brings a nice and sweet flavor, which contradicts with the cheese and tomato sauce. This creates a balanced meal. Great. And just to make sure, James, this is not a quote, right? This is something you wrote yourself?
Yeah, it took me a little while, but yeah.
Awesome. This is no, just wanted to make sure because whenever you add quotes, just make sure to add quotations. But if this is yours, and no need. Very well written. The texture of the squishy pineapple. Wait, we already read. Oh yeah, the texture of the squishy pineapple contradicts with the crunchy and cheesy pizza. This makes pineapple a wonderful addition to your pizza. Awesome. One great part about pineapple this. So with these 2 points, now I would say keep one or keep the other. When you add both of them together, it can get a bit lengthy, especially since you already brought such good points before. So because we already talked about texture in the beginning of your speech, we can just take this whole thing out. So then we'll leave this point here, okay? This makes pineapple a cosmo part. I think pineapple is a great topping. Indian philosophy agrees with my opinion. Awesome. This is great. That's all the comments I have for you, James. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So I am going to have to move on. If you have not submitted it, now is the time. Oh, Alex, you're almost done. Okay, no problem. Continue finishing it, Alex. What we'll do is I'm going to submit a link for everyone to look over in the meantime, okay? But continue working on yours, Alex. Let's see. Let's take a look. Okay. So I'm gonna be sending a link to the chat. Please let me know if you have received if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, please let me know. Okay, seems like it works for everybody. So I'm going to share the screen. We're going to take a quick look at this vocab list while Alex finishes, and then we'll edit yours, Alex. So here in this website, it shows a bunch of vocabulary based on Shakespearean language that's been translated into modern English. Raise your hand if you're familiar with Shakespeare. Yeah, awesome. So for those who don't, awesome, great. For those who don't know, James, can you quickly just give your own understanding of who Shakespeare is? Oh yeah, Lee, go ahead. Oh, sorry. James, go ahead.
It's a guy that writes poems and plays.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lee, do you want to add in anything?
Shakespeare was a poet, I believe, and he wrote many famous plays and even had pancakes in his show.
Yeah. Yeah. Both yeah, Alexander.
Oh, and he had a really famous play called Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, he did. Romeo and Juliet, very famous. And there's a lot of movies and stories that were based off of Romeo and Juliet. It's a tragic tale between, two people, and it's very dramatic. Let's just say that. And Shakespeare loves drama. So, one thing I will mention is that he likes to use lots of difficult language. Well, not difficult, but very out there language. And fun fact is that, Alexander is gone. So fun fact is that actually a lot of Shakespearean language, of course, some of it was used in English back then, but a lot of the wording that he would use is actually out there even back then. Like people are not used to this vocabulary. But regardless of the matter is that I want you guys to explore this yeah, go ahead. Alex, do you want to expand?
Uh, my understanding of who Shakespeare is he was a great writer who wrote many historical stories or poems or speeches, and I usually hear about him in a lot of my classes.
Yeah, yeah. And all of you guys correct. And he was mostly known and still is taught uh by the way he used language. So the reason why I sent you guys this link is because eventually we're going to reach a task where you guys will be getting to explore the vocabulary, the language. So Alex, did you get a chance to finish? It's okay if you're not completely finished, but yeah, Lee.
He also had a really famous play called Hamlet.
Yeah, yeah. Hamlet, there's so many. And I'm sure that you guys will eventually reach one of his poems. Macbeth is another famous play. So yeah, you guys will definitely cover this. We'll definitely cover it in our own classes if you guys would like to explore Shakespeare a little bit more in the future. Now we're getting a little introduction to Shakespeare. So let me share the screen. But before, so Alexander, if you don't mind just sending me what you have right now. I understand that you're almost finished, but we do have to move on. So just send me what you have. It's okay if you're not completely finished. I know that, uh, okay, perfect. So let's take a look at yours, Alexander. And then for everyone who who has already submitted or wants to explore the website, please do so now because you guys will eventually want to start using those vocabulary words in your own stories that you're going to be making in the future of this session. So Alex, let's take a look. You said pizza is a great food that most people like. So again, try to find different synonyms for certain words, like wondrous food. Instead of great, find something that would make your poem, your speech a little bit more eloquent. But people can argue over the toppings. I would say people argue over toppings. And then what we can add is another word here, constantly. If Don't forget to capitalize your eyes. If I were to choose a topping for my everyday pizza, we'll just skip routine. It's not needed. I would choose pineapple. Pineapple should be put on pizza, even though it may sound nasty. Pizza and its great toppings include cheese and pepperoni. I would say usual but great toppings, including cheese and pepperoni. We'll put some commas here. Could be very dry. In my opinion, don't forget to capitalize start of a sentence. In my opinion, pineapple refreshes your mouth like drinking water after eating plain queso. I like the switch of language here. That's fun. Pineapple is so sweet that my mouth thinks it's candy sometimes. We need to put this together. Whoops. However, some people think that fruit is not meant to be on pizza. Ooh, okay. So that is good. So what I would mention here, Alexander, is just it's a great, this part is great, especially mentioning your own personal experience. Maybe just add one more well, actually no, because of time that wouldn't be possible. I would just say play around with the way you structure your sentences, because I feel like that's the most I've given for your edits here. But I really appreciate you using figurative language. That's great. Especially when we're trying to make a speech with eloquence, that is something we would look out for. But yeah, majority of your feedback has been just looking at the structure of your sentence and making sure that the flow of it is a little bit better. Any questions regarding this, Alex? No? All right. So let's move on. Before we do our Shakespeare, well, we're gonna do Shakespeare right now, but not the writing task. We're gonna do a little reading and kind of vocab task, just for us to practice getting used to Shakespeare. So this is from one of the most famous of William Shakespeare's play called The Tragedy of Julius Caesar. The play tells of the murder of the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar by Roman officials, many of whom were once Caesar's friends. So in the scene below, we have Caesar walking in public with Casca, which is another friend and supporter. We have citizens following the group. So you're going to read the passage and pay attention to the underlined words. And then we're going to complete a grid in the next. Yeah, absolutely. We can have every one person be in the play. So now, unfortunately, there's not enough characters. There's only Brutus, Soothsayer, Caesar, and yeah, the soothsayer, Caesar, Casca, and Brutus. So 4 people. Who would like to volunteer? Whoever raises their hand up first, I'll just give first. So raise your hand if you would like to act out this scene. Okay, Alexander, you hand is first. So choose your character. Who do you want to be, Alexander? David's next. Okay, so Alexander's going to be soothsayer. David, who do you want to be? Okay, David Caesar. All right, we need 2 more. Yenfei, you want to volunteer?
What?
Yenfei, you want to be Brutus? You'll play the
Okay.
you'll play the character Brutus, all right, Yanfei?
Mhm.
And then let's get Lee. Do you want to be who's you want to be Casca?
Sure.
All right. All right, so you guys may get started. So Soothsayer, please begin.
Caesar.
Huh, who called?
Bid every noise be still. Peace yet again.
Who is it? And who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music. Cry, Caesar, speak, Caesar, is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
The soothsayer bids you beware the ideas of March.
Set him before me. Let me see his.
Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him pass.
Great, everyone. That was oh yes.
I remember this one. This was like
You remember this one, Lee?
so yeah. This one was so this one was like Julius Caesar died on March, and then there's like I think one of his like servants or something killed him on March. The Ides of
Yeah, it's very, and hence the name Tragedy of Julius Caesar. So it's a very tragic story. Okay, so there's some underlined words here like bid, still, press, shriller, turned, soothsayer, throng, and sayest. So what you guys are going to say is whether what this word means and what kind of part of speech is it? Is like a verb? Is it a noun? Is it what do you think? So that being said, if you don't know, right, just skip it and just do the ones that you do know. or you want to attempt to guess on, but this is just a guessing game. Well, not a guessing game, but this is a way for you guys to look at the rest of the literature that you read and make an educated guess, right? If you're not familiar with it, right? Bid, for example, bid every noise, be still. Maybe there's something there that we can look at to figure out what would bid mean, right? And what kind of bid, would it be a verb? Would it be a noun? So that is something to keep in mind. And again, if you don't know, try at least guessing. Make an educated guess. And if you still don't know, then you can just skip it. It's okay. We'll take it up together, all right? Does anyone have any questions? No? Oh. Yeah, you can use it how you would use it in a sentence, then the meaning. That's fair. That way of explaining would be fine. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Okay. So I will give you guys 10 minutes to complete this. If we all, yeah, Alex?
Oh, you can finish your sentence first.
Oh, no, no. I was just gonna say if we all finish earlier, then we'll take it up earlier. But you maximum, I'll give you 10 minutes. Go ahead, Alex.
When it says part of speech, is it like saying who says it or which line it's in
So
or like
part of speech means like, is it a noun,
oh I get it now.
verb, or adjective, or adverb? Hmm. Any further questions? All right. So I'll check in around 8 to 10 minutes, all right? But 10 minutes maximum. So you guys have, oh, sorry, Leah, I didn't, for some reason I didn't get a notification for your message. You can add that if that's what you think is part of the speech. But I am going to say you guys have 2 more minutes to complete as much as you can. Remember, if you are stuck on one, skip it and move on to the next. Okay, so time is up. Please submit the answers you have done, the questions you have done. It's okay if you're not finished all of them, but we are going to move on to the next slide and take it up together. So please just submit what you have done, just so I can see that you guys what you have guys said for each one. All right. So I'm going to move the slide in 3, 2, 1. So bid, it's a verb and it means command or ask. Still, which is an adverb, which means quiet. Press, which is a noun, it means crowd. So if we take a look back, right? Who is it in the press that calls me? For is shriller, which is an adjective, and it means harsher or higher. Turned, which is a verb, which means moved. Soothsayer, which is a noun, means fortune teller. Throng, which is a noun, means mob, like a group of people. Sayst, which is a verb, which means tell or speak. Does anyone have any questions regarding any of the words before we move on?
No.
No? All right, so these were your answers. Review them when you get the chance after class. Because some of them you can still use today. For example, bid, still press, shriller, soothsayer, throng. Those are all words that are still used in modern English today. All right, so we're gonna skip this for now. What we're gonna do is our writing task. Since this act and scene from Shakespeare is fresh in our minds, and we get a better understanding of the words and what it means, you guys are going to continue the story and end it. So now of course I know some of you are familiar with the entire story and how it actually ended. So I want you guys to put your own take on the story. So you're going to continue the story and end it the way you want it. Play around with the Shakespearean language, aka the link that I sent you guys. Add dialogue, add narration. It's your oyster. So you can do it whatever you want. But make sure that it's clear and detailed. All right. Does anyone have any questions regarding this? No? All right, then please get started. I'll give you guys 10 minutes and then we'll take it up together. 2 more minutes. You should be wrapping up your dialogue, narratives, whatever, but you have, oh, well, now 1 more minute. So try wrapping things up. All right, so time is up. I'm going to stop sharing and get it shared with the document right here. So please, again, start submitting your work in the next following seconds. All right, so let's take a look. Alexander, you submitted first. So I'm just gonna take what you have submitted so far. Um, this one. All right, so Casca said you shall go on now, soothsayer. Actually, I feel like I'm missing one. Yes, I am. So Caesar starts off saying, I said pass, not another word out of you. You shall go on now, soothsayer. Brutus, wait, we should know why we should beware the itis of March. Why should we listen to him? I do not know of anyone in this world that can tell the future. Well then, good luck. It's March, to capitalize March. It's March 13th now. Well, if it's a good old soothsayer again. Remember, don't forget to add the apostrophe. I'm sorry, but I do understand this is for elongation, so I'm not going to correct this. The prophecy must continue and then stabs Caesar. Awesome. This is really well written, Alexander. The way you structured the language is very Shakespearean. And it sounds like a great extension to the story. Just very minimal comments, just making sure that even though this is dialogue, we should still make sure that we're capitalizing where it needs to be capitalized and adding the proper grammar. Any questions, Alexander? Oh, I'm missing one? Which one? Uh, uh, I don't see one that I mixed. Oh no, I'm not missing. Okay. So wait, Alexander, am I missing one or no? I'm double checking and I don't believe I missed one. Can you send me the line that I missed? If I did? Then Lee, I should add yours. Okay. Soothsayer, Cole waits at the end of the lines. Sarcastically. So if we're gonna add this idea of sarcastically and mumbles, that's where the narrative comes into play. So we can say Kaiser or Caesar. Caesar responds sarcastically. And then we have the dialogue. Same thing here, mumbled. Casca quietly mumbles. And then again, unpregnant fool. All that glitters isn't gold. Awesome. That's all the comments I have for you, Lee. Any questions? No? All right. If there's no questions, Lee, I'm gonna move on. And then Alex, just remember it's not is, it's if. You do not remember, do not listen to your futures ending, then you will die unknowingly. Awesome. And then that's all the responses I have so far. So I am going to move on. Let's work on the next part of our reading task, which is, well, not reading, but grammar.
You also should become C.
Sorry?
You also should become C.
Why should I become C?
That's like the Caesar's English thing.
Oh.
THEE.
Oh. Sorry, where, Lee?
Then you will die unknowingly.
If you do not listen to your future's ending, then you will die unknowingly. What did I miss here, Lee?
That you should become a C. shouldn't it?
Oh. Then you will die unknowingly. Yes. That is correct. Thank you, Lee. I did miss that. All right. Okay. So let's move on to the slides. So using the colon. So in writing, the colon has three major functions, right? First, it introduces a list when the list follows an independent clause. For example, we had snacks today, fruit, nuts, and carrot sticks. A second way we can use the colon is introducing quotations when the quotation is not part of the independent clause. So for example, I will quote the words of the wise Aesop. Little friends may prove great friends. Third, the colon introduces an explanation when the explanation is preceded by an independent clause. So for example here, she knew the right place to find the answer, the library. Yep, we only have 5 minutes left. This is a quick activity. You should be able to finish this in the time remaining, and then I'll introduce the homework, all right? So, only 5 questions. Do as many as you can with the time remaining. What you're gonna do is look at the sentences that need a colon and rewrite it, adding it. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all are written in a certain way. Now, see if they would need a colon. If not, you may say that there is no need. But if you do see that there is a need, then add it. Does anyone have any questions here? No? All right, so try to do as many as you can, maybe at least the first three, if possible, and then I will quickly go over the answers. So I'll give you guys 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. All right, so time is up. Please submit your answers. I am going to immediately show what we have done. So for number 1, the comma goes after memorable. For number 2, the comma goes after available. For number 3, the comma, I mean, not the comma, what am I saying? The colon goes after longer. The colon for number 4 goes after mother. And the colon goes for number 5 after spiritual. All right. And you guys will receive the slides, so you can, of course, look back and see why that is. Now let's me introduce quickly the homework. So again, I have some 4 words here called tractable, unobtrusive, whimsical, and reprimand. So again, just please write a paragraph using these vocabulary words and then submit it into the forum once you are done. Does anyone have any questions regarding this or the homework? No? All right, then have a great week, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.